Everybody has one podcast. We are back.
Yes.
Another week. So much going on in the world of sports. So little time to discuss it all. I like to start the show the same way each week, man. I'm your host, Jason Flake. My co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ, man.
What up, doe?
We like to thank the Everybody Has One family, man, for another great week of engagement. Thousands of views on the YouTube channel, man. Great engagement all across the social media sites. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Threads, and that's Twitch. The audio version of the podcast is also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure y'all tapping in with us there. When you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell notification. And when you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all. When you hit all, that makes sure that you get an update every single time we post new content, new videos, new shorts, any kind of new content. And, of course, every time we go live, which is every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. or as close as we can get to it. We appreciate y'all, man. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family, man. So make sure y'all keep tapping in with us. Make sure y'all telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your family, telling your enemies, telling anybody who will listen, man, about the Everybody Has One podcast. And without further ado,
Right.
let's get into these topics, man, because they are innumerable.
Let's get it.
Seemingly. Congratulations to the Detroit Pistons.
Yes, sir.
For only the third time in franchise history did they tally 60 wins in a season. While doing so, they acquired the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference in early November, and they held that for a jaw-dropping 156 days without relinquishing it. Also, they became the first team in history to lose 60 games or more, and then only 2 seasons later win 60 games or more. So shout out to the guys for once again making history. Last year, of course, they tripled their win total for the first time in NBA history. Now they are a 60-win #1 seed. And it appears that even with these historic feats, the odds makers and commentators view the Pistons as a team that is ahead of schedule. Most sports books give us about the 6th best odds to win the title behind the Thunder, Spurs, Celtics, Nuggets, and Cavs. So I'm going to ask the People's Champ, man. Do you like the underdog role or you like LeBron? Do you want your damn respect? What say the People's Champ?
I don't like the underdog role for the simple fact that when it comes from the media, they don't hide the disrespect that comes with it.
You know, I'm kind of the same way. It's kind of like a cute little story.
Yeah.
They pat us on the head.
Yeah, that's the part.
We held the #1 spot in the conference for 156 days. We took it in early November. It ain't like, we just kind of squeezed in at the end. Like, no, we dominated the conference all year. We ran the yard all year. It wasn't like, we kind of snuck in at the end. No, but I'm with you. But go ahead, man. I'll let you finish your commentary.
But no, I mean, and like if it was any other, situation, maybe. But it's like, okay, well, what more do you want? Like everything that was thrown in front of this team, we were like next.
Yep.
And I think that type of effort and output and, let alone results, should garner way more respect than more so it does almost kind of like a dismissive, like, I mean, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's real nice what the Pistons did. Isn't that great what the Pistons did? They turned it around in 3 years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like,
I get you. I'm with you. I'm on your tip.
That's the vibe that I get when I hear the whole underdog thing because, but we've like you say, we've done it throughout since November?
November.
Yeah.
We took the number one
I mean, that's
seed
like
in
pillar to
November.
post.
Yep. That's what. Yeah, basically, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like what the season start in late November.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like excuse me, late October.
late
I should say.
October.
Yeah, late October. Yeah, I mean the season starts in late October. We took the number one seed in early November and never gave it up.
And when OKC does it, it's nothing but respect, and rightfully so.
I mean, yeah, right. Yep. Well, I
You
agree.
know, it was never OKC's ahead of schedule. Like, no, why can't it be the Pistons have surpassed the Knicks?
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is approaching his mid-30s and can't survive through a season and postseason. It's starting to become a regular occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid, God bless him, we'll get into that in the whole Philadelphia situation. I mean, so like, we give Joe Mazzulla his credit, but they've done it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
It's like, you would expect them. Now, did you expect them to be a 2 seed? Probably not. Right. But I didn't expect them to be, fighting with Orlando and who's ever at the bottom, of the East right now to play in. I mean, these guys are champions. Yeah. Playoff tested, battle tested. Yeah, I mean, they have a culture, they have a system there.
Finals MVP. I mean, it's like he's not some bum, right.
So it's like, okay, like, no, the Pistons are for real. Now, I mean, like I said, we'll get into what's next. But yeah, and as it goes to your comment and your question, I should say, about the underdog narrative. Yeah, I think it's laced with disrespect.
Yep. I'm kind of in the same boat. Part of me likes to fly under the radar, but I agree. I feel that there's a tinge of disrespect there. Particularly when they have Cleveland having better odds than us. James Harden has not been to the finals since the first Obama administration, and Donovan Mitchell has never been to a conference final.
It's spring again.
Right, yeah, the winter soldier. And listen, definitely the Celtics have a championship pedigree. You have to respect what they've done. But they've been, again, like I brought this up before, they've been to the conference finals 5 times in the last 8 years. They've advanced to the finals twice. It's not as if, they automatic, when they get to the conference finals, they still got to win.
And what about the middling Miami Heat?
Right, yeah, I mean, and like you said, the New York Knicks even, I mean, I'm not afraid of the
They
New
took
York
a step
Knicks.
back, and they have no path forward because all of their draft picks were wasted on wings that all they're concerned with are getting their games played stats, and, that's about it.
Yeah, and I was going to bring this up later, but, I mean, listen, there have been 2 small guards that have led a team to a championship in the NBA. That's Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, and I think Jalen Brunson is tough. I think he's a really good player. I wouldn't disrespect Jalen Brunson. I don't put him quite in that ilk with those 2, though. I don't think I'm breaking any news by saying that. He's really good. He's not Steph Curry or Isaiah Thomas, though.
That's fair, but I think him being Jalen Brunson is enough.
Jalen Brunson is tough. I don't know that I think Jalen Brunson can lead a team to a championship. I don't know that I believe that he can do that. And that's not a dig at him. Okay. I just think that's a hard thing for a small guard to do. Allen Iverson couldn't do it, and I think Allen Iverson was great. I don't think that Allen Iverson had any deficiencies that kept him from doing it. I just think it's a hard thing for a small guard to do.
The only reason, and my disagreement comes from, because I think basketball-wise, it's hard to dispute what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm coming from an aspect of what's around Jalen Brunson.
Yes,
because he has a 7-foot number 1 pick on his team, who, who thinks he's Jeff Malone.
Yeah,
if Karl Anthony Towns in big game, high stakes situations resembled a number 1 pick, more than a second rounder in the 3-point shootout.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I mean, things would.
You know how I
I
feel
think the
about
results for the Knicks would be different.
You know how I feel about Karl Anthony Towns in high leverage situations.
Like
I agree with you.
Like I think that. Yes, I think Jalen Brunson has a ceiling per se, especially if you're talking, within a 7-game series.
Yeah.
But I also feel that on the right team, he'll be the guy making the biggest plays offensively in those moments.
Okay.
Like I think he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he's a really good clutch player. I question whether or not he can be the best player on a championship
I
team.
mean, that's fair. Okay, so let's say this. Do you think they could say if he was the best offensive player on a championship team, but they added like a dynamic defender? Like say instead of Karl Anthony Towns, they had Scotty Barnes.
Now that's, so let me say this, because I think that OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are two of the best perimeter defenders in basketball.
Right.
I think that, to your point, that's the idea that they had when they went out and built the team the way that they did. I agree that me and you, we're in lockstep on Karl Anthony Towns. I don't trust him in any high leverage situations. I agree with you there. Like I 100% agree. Him being your best big is problematic because I'm not sure that he gives you what you need in the biggest moments. Because you know how I feel.
Right.
Easy baskets is the way.
Yes.
When it's high leverage time.
Yeah.
The fact that you are maybe the best, big guy shooter ever, that's cool. But when it's winning time, I need something near the basket. I need you to be able to work out on the inside.
We need a bucket, not a three.
Exactly. Yeah. I need some high percentage that I know is going in.
Because in those situations, to your point, there's a difference between a bucket and a 3-point attempt.
Yeah. This is my entire point. And we're gonna talk about the play in and some of the end of game strategy that I witnessed last night because I had some criticisms, but I don't want to jump the gun.
But to wrap it up, I get your point about Jalen Brunson because I understand how he can be seen as like a mini like Harden in terms of like style of play with the ball domination. But I think the reason why I kind of lean towards him or favor him.
And I like Jalen Brunson.
It's because, I've seen him deliver. But
I'm
it's
not
like
trying to knock on him.
No, I know you're not.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
But it takes a lot to win a championship.
Yes.
And it takes a lot from the elite players to win a championship and to be able to sustain it.
This is my thing. And I'm that's a big burden. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, especially for a small guard, I think a lot is asked of a small, like you got to be versatile. You know what I'm saying? Like, like sometimes you got to be able to get the shot. Sometimes you got to be able to create the shot. Sometimes.
Let's just say, for example, because again, it goes back to the Towns thing. And I think we can kind of, where I remove Jalen Brunson, I look at, say, like the Spurs with Tony Parker.
Right.
Where in that final series, Tony Parker was the best player.
Yes.
But the force.
Yeah.
Was Timmy.
Of course, yeah. But all 5 of them was with
Jalen
Timmy.
doesn't have that.
No, of course not. Yeah, I agree.
Karl Anthony Towns' presence hamstrings what Mitchell Robinson can do.
Yeah, I mean,
you get what I like.
If they had Tim Duncan, they would win.
Well, I mean, but what we're saying, but with the smaller guards and being it, because like there were moments, which I mean, hence he won final, but throughout that playoff run, where Tony Parker was on one.
Oh yeah.
Like he was on one.
Yes.
And we've seen Jalen go off.
Yeah.
And
Jalen Brunson is a monster. I love Jalen Brunson. I do. And I'm not saying that as a knock against him. I'm just saying that it's hard to lift your team to a championship, and what is asked of a small player, You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you.
like it's a lot.
That's only been done twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a big ask. And you know, those are two of the very best players in the history of the game. What you got, nephew?
I just wanted to ask before we put a bow on it. Is Cat the biggest factor in the Knicks avoiding the upset?
Oh wow, that's a good one. Yeah, because you know what, you kind of jumping ahead because we're gonna do a playoff preview, but that's a good question.
If you want to table it, and
No, that's a good question. Hold on, I'm thinking if he's the biggest factor, and them avoiding the upset. You know what? I think he's a factor. I think the biggest factor is probably going to be Bridges and how well he can play because they have great wing defenders. So I think actually Cat is probably going to be okay because I don't think Okongwu is going to bother him all that much. He'll probably be fine. I'm interested in the wing matchups. I'm interested in what they're going to be able to do with Jalen Johnson. And, you know, and I think OG will probably not have too difficult a time with him. But I'm just wondering with Dyson Daniels out there on the wing, I can envision a scenario where he erases Mikal Bridges. And that's bad for the Knicks. I think Mikal Bridges is going to need to have a good series in order for them to make quick work in order for them to even get the series win. Because I can see a 7-game series, and in the 7th game, even in the Garden, anything can happen. And while I think that the Knicks do have the best player in the series in Jalen Brunson, I think Atlanta's got the most talented player in the series in Jalen Johnson, which is a distinction with a very important difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, while Brunson is the better player, I think Johnson is more, you know what I'm saying, like in terms of what all he can do on the floor. With the
I know, Jalen. Yeah. I mean, he can struggle and have an impactful triple-double.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's very talented. I agree. Like, he can impact the game in a lot of different ways. So,
are we digging into that series? Like,
no. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, no.
I'll say we'll table it.
We're gonna go there. Yeah, we're gonna go there. So, yeah, but I agree with you in terms of the Pistons thing. Let's get into the play-in real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll do the playoff preview because we can really kind of dig into some of those series conversations. Last night was the first night of the play-in tournament. In the first game, the Charlotte Hornets defeated the Miami Heat in overtime by a score of 127-126. LaMelo Ball hit a right-handed layup with 4.7 seconds remaining. The Miami Heat's Davion Mitchell raced the ball up the floor with no timeouts remaining and attempted a right-handed layup that was blocked by Miles Bridges as time expired. The game was not without controversy with 10 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the second quarter as LaMelo Ball drove to the basket for a layup attempt that was blocked by Simone Fontecchio. He fell to the floor and seemingly intentionally tripped an off-balance Bam Adebayo. There was no foul call, no immediate stoppage of play, which is why the on-court official said that the play was not immediately reviewed. The NBA has since launched an investigation into Ball's actions to see whether or not they merit an upgrade to the potential flagrant foul and or additional punishment. So first I'll ask you about the Lonzo Ball thing, the trip. So what did you see? Did it look intentional first? And what do you think, how do you think they should sort that out? Do you think he was just kind of out of sorts on the floor? Do you think he did it intentionally? And how do you think that should have been sorted out right there? And what do you think the league should do in response? What say the people's champ?
Yeah, I think he did it intentionally, but I think it was like one of those things where it was the reaction of an impulsive guy in the moment, that it was all fluid, and that's how he naturally reacted. That's how he would have reacted if there were no cameras around.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, I think the byproduct was the injury to Bam, which I don't think he intended to hurt. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he tried to
when
injure him.
you get tangled up, you're like, hey, get on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in that instance, with him being on the ground, it's not excusing it, but it's just the human nature
all
of
in
it.
one motion. Yeah,
And LaMelo, kind of showing a history of being a hothead and a little on the I don't like calling grown men the I word, but maybe he's got a little growing to do.
Yeah.
A little growing to do. We'll just say that. So, I mean, it kind of checks some of those boxes. But I don't think it was a cheap shot. You get what I'm saying? I just think it was a petulant reaction that led to a messed up injury to Bam. If that makes sense.
Right. Yes. I'm kind of that same opinion. I did think that it was flagrant, which doesn't necessarily mean intentional, but I did think the officials were derelict for missing it. I'm like, I don't get the explanation that there was an immediate stoppage of play. Like, you're an official, you stop the play.
Not in this NBA with all the ridiculousness that they do with the
exactly. Yeah. Like, I don't even get that explanation. I do have mixed feelings about whether or not I think he should be suspended, because now there's a review, and there's a couple of reasons, right? So, like, the level of hostility and intention. Now, obviously, you can't get inside of somebody's head. I don't know if he has a history of this type of thing, right? So,
I've never known him to be. Like I said, I just think it was just his reaction that led to an injury, and the reaction wasn't cool.
And also, I don't know what the precedent is for the NBA suspending guys in one-game elimination situations. This would be the ultimate punitive action.
Right.
If they were to suspend him for Friday's game, because it's win or go home. So, what's the precedent for that? Because that's a punishment not only to him, but his entire team, because they're going to be missing their best player.
But what he did was a punishment to the Miami Heat.
It was. That's a good counterpoint. That's a very good counterpoint. Like, he took their best player off the floor in a one-game elimination.
I mean, I would like to think that on that layup attempt by LaMelo Ball, Bam Adebayo would probably be there either help side or meeting him at the rim to contest the shot.
And he certainly makes a difference in a one-point game.
Right. So, I mean,
where they were badly out-rebounded, and he's their best rebounder. So.
And then, like the NBA has done since 2003, all things lead back to your boy. I mean, if we're talking one-game suspensions and high-stake games for retro disciplining actions that happen in a prior game, that would probably be the only example that I could think of where something was not called in the actual game, but disciplined afterwards and directly affecting the outcome of that game. Some said series.
But that was Draymond's 16th technical, I think.
They didn't even call anything when that happened. Kiki Vandeweghe reviewed it over the weekend
and gave him his 16th.
Yeah, after a barrage of after a campaign of he should get one. How he, you get what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing I can think of where there's an example where we're going to look back at something we missed.
Right.
And then be like, you know what? We got to get
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So this is interesting. I'm interested to see how this one will shake out, because I think that I don't know. I don't know what would be fair, right? It's hard for me to say what would be fair. Yeah. I think that, My instincts tell me what would be fair is to let him play on Friday, because it's a one-game elimination, even if you want to suspend him, and then either suspend him for the start of next season or the start of the playoffs, so that it's not the ultimate punitive action, because that seems like the ultimate punitive action.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't know what the solution is.
Exactly,
I really don't.
I.
But the thing about it is, again, we talk about this with the NBA every single year.
Yeah.
And the thing that I will give the NFL credit for, every offseason, the NFL is like, all right, what sucks?
Right.
What works? what needs to be fixed.
We're going to get into that, too.
Every offseason.
Yep.
Whereas we've been talking about the officiating in the NBA since the 80s. Earl Strom. You get what Hugh Hollins. Dick Bavetta. This has been a problem with the NBA, a prevailing problem for north of 30 years.
Yeah.
And it always seems to get worse in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Yep, you're right. So yeah, man, we'll obviously talk about whatever they decide to do.
Yeah.
On the next show. But the second play-in game featured the Portland Trail Blazers at the Phoenix Suns. The Portland Trail Blazers did defeat the Suns by a score of 114-110 after trailing by 6 with 3 minutes left. Denny Avdia went on a flurry, which included a go-ahead three-point play with 16.1 seconds remaining in the game. And I'm going to need some help from the People's Champ with this sequence that I'm about to describe. Now, Goodwin, for the Phoenix Suns, he hit a layup, 32 seconds remaining. That gave the Suns a 110-109 lead. Portland called the timeout. Now, when they called this timeout, I yelled at the television, put in a rim protector. This is what I said. I said, put in a rim protector. Put Mark Williams back in the game because Goodwin is about 6'3", 6'4". He scored that layup from the dunker spot because Portland was playing a small ball lineup. Why Tiago Splinter was playing a small ball lineup, I don't know.
He's building it while flying.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I'm like, you don't get caught the same way. Don't get caught without a rim protector in there. Put your big back in. He puts a small ball lineup back on the floor. Denny Avdia smartly line drive layup straight to the basket, laid it up, and one
I'm
foul.
The biggest
Dillon
guy on
Brooks
the floor. Why not?
Foul Dillon Brooks out the game. Listen, man, the small ball lineup is the wildcat formation of the NBA. It's way over, except it's still way overused. Like they still overusing it. You got a big shot. Both teams got a big old shot blocker sitting right there on the bench. What is the purpose of that? Well, if you bring in the big guy, they'll kick it out and shoot a three. So what?
Right.
You up by 1. Let them kick it out. Even if they hit the 3, don't call timeout. Run right back to the other end. They got a small ball lineup in. Your big guy, he can turn right around and get a layup and tie the game. Nice and easy. It would have been just that easy to get the 2 points right back and tie the game. But instead, you got a small ball lineup in there. He went directly to the basket because there was no rim protector. I do not understand that for the life of me. You knew that they were going to do to you exactly what you just did to them because both of y'all were playing small lineups. That was the time for you to say, okay, let's get this small lineup out of here because we just had a 6'3" guy score a layup from the dunker spot. Well, we know they're going to try to exploit us in the same way. Let's be ready. Instead, you called timeout, talked about what in the timeout? I have no idea. Because all he did was take the ball directly down the lane, a straight line drive. I'm talking about you could draw a line from the top of the key straight to the basket. That's what he did.
It's a layup drill.
Yeah, it's just a layup drill. So anyway, I'm like, I need the help. I'm gonna ask the People's Champ.
No, I listen. I was just like, hey man, I guess they feel we gonna ride or die with this small lineup and see where it takes us. I don't know. Maybe they were.
It's gonna take them to the second game of the play-in to play the winner of tonight's game.
I don't know. Maybe they wanted. Maybe it was a defensive rotation thing in terms of, being able to have secondary help when the ball swings at the rim. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know.
I'm like, that was the wildest thing.
I don't know. Because which was shocking to me because I feel that, Tiago Splitter have a coached above his head.
Yeah.
Successfully.
No,
this
Tiago
season.
Splitter in that situation did the right thing. It was the Phoenix Suns head coach. They didn't put Mark Williams
by plugging in the big guy in the middle to
because
contest.
They played small. Tiago Splitter was on offense then, so he just matched up with whatever they had. Phoenix should have put the big guy in and had a
and
rim
denied
protector.
Denny.
And Denny should have found a shot blocker at the rim when he went straight down the lane. But,
Say earn it at the foul line. I'm always foul.
yeah,
You got. I mean, unless
or meet a shot blocker, like make him. He would have had to kick it out. Now, if you kick it out to the 3-point line, that's fine. Like a 3-pointer is still a low percentage shot. I know that we want to defend the 3-point line and all of that. I know the league is 3-point obsessed. I know I'm talking to a brick wall. I might as well turn around and talk to this right here. But you'd rather have them shoot a 3 right there.
I mean,
you don't want to
sure.
give up a layup when you're up by 1. Make them shoot a 3. Listen. And if they hit it, then you're still just down by a layup yourself.
Bro, you don't want to give up a layup up by 1 or down by 20.
Bro.
Like, that's just not the way to do it.
But at any rate, man.
On the flip side, is this the first time a federal indictment saved a team season?
Yeah,
I mean, Tiago Splitter, shout out to him. Yeah, that is the flip side of the coin, man. He had to step in, with all of the turbulence, man. And Denny Avdia also he had 41 points. He should get some votes for most improved player, even though the most improved player is Jalen Durant.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask the people's champ, man, the overall entertainment value of the first night of the play-in tournament, man. How can we somehow replicate that? Because it was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we get the teams into more of these do or die situations? Because that seems to be the key to getting some urgency. What say the people's champ?
Man, I don't know how you incentivize these guys.
I know.
I mean, like, do you maybe somehow, some way, I don't know. Like,
That's $1 million question, man. How
You're going to have to find a way to raise revenue by cutting games.
yeah, that's going to be eventually the next step.
That's the only way. Because you're getting this urgency because it is do or die. Like, the games actually matter.
Yeah.
It's only so much you can do to make a midweek game in February matter so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Daryl Morey, the GM of the Houston Rockets a few years back, was asked the question, how come college basketball is able to get better ratings than the NBA? And his answer was one word: urgency.
Yeah. What if maybe the NBA tried like the NHL point system or something like that?
That's interesting.
And how that affects like playoff seeding.
Yeah.
And then maybe we add like some caveats where you get, more points versus a win versus a West Coast team.
Yeah, man.
I'm just throwing something out.
No, I like
out on
it.
the
Listen,
wall
man,
and
I don't have the answer, man. Last night teams was fighting and scrapping. Yeah. Teams went down. They didn't quit, man. They just kept fighting. And
I reluctantly say even this season's
in-season tournament,
that thing was competitive this season.
I mean, I think they might be onto something with tournament style play. They just got to make it one game elimination. They, you know what I'm saying? They got to find a way to make it like one game. Like all this pool play, it's too confusing. Just bracket it. Every game is is an in-season tournament game, one game elimination type situation.
Or do they expand the league and just pool it out?
Yeah, I mean,
and then make each pool at the end of the end of each pool's tournament, they're the insane cash prize type deal. Or
what about like a tournament, for the number 1 pick? I like that. And like
so let's say like so after the All-Star break, the team with the best record or something gets like the number 1 pick or something like that.
No, like
I'm just throwing that out.
Like once the playoffs start, send all of the teams that didn't make it to Vegas, and the team that win get the number 1 pick.
No, the teams didn't make it. They didn't make it. Screw them.
No, I mean, I'm saying no. The team that didn't win, they get the number 1 pick instead of doing a lottery.
Oh, okay.
And some people like, well, isn't the team that win the best team? Yeah, we want to see good teams.
Yeah.
So let them get the number one.
Yeah, that's
pick.
what I'm saying. Like, make them play for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
On the flip side of that, you asking people to play for their replacement.
No, I mean, because
I mean, it's a great. I get the idea. The idea is always has been stated. I think it's a good idea, but at the same time,
let's be real though. Like this year, the team that I would put my money on to win is probably the Wizards. Because they probably roll Anthony Davis out there and Trae Young. Anthony Davis they ain't replacing him. And Alex Sarr, you know what I'm saying? Like they just gonna add a good young player. They gonna add AJ DeBansa or somebody like that. And that's gonna be that. They gonna add the wing that they need, and then they gonna automatically be good. And the thing is that I like the idea of the best bad team getting a good player because then that adds another good team to the mix. I like the idea of the rich getting richer. Let the bum teams stay bum teams. You know what I'm saying? Figure something out, bro.
They don't do nothing but ruin careers.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want no good team going.
It just smells like a prime opportunity for the ethics of the league to go into question. You know,
Hey,
I can see some 6th, 7th man on somebody's team being like, you know what? Today's the day I'll go cash in.
No, I mean, because everybody still want to keep their spot though. Like nobody is going to ain't nobody gonna go out there and stink it up. You don't want to put no bad tape out there in the NBA. No, trust me, them dudes ain't never doing that. It's too much money at stake.
And if that means you gotta tighten up in the locker room or in practice, that's a good thing.
Yeah. No, man, and put the you talking about the draft process, the ethics of the draft process coming under question? Is that a joke, bro?
I'm not talking about the draft.
Oh.
I'm not talking
I
about
was
the
gonna
draft.
say those can't be any more in question.
I think we're all in agreement that we all want to nuke the lottery.
Right.
I'm talking about somebody cashing in.
Oh, you talking about once again, dog? Terry Rozier's been released, bro. That's already anything. Nothing can happen that ain't already been happening.
He got bigger concerns.
Yeah, dog. Nothing can happen that ain't already happened, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? All the genie, just about every genie is out the bottle at this point with the NBA. Like that's the good thing.
We still got to get to the bottom of this Kawhi Leonard thing. Like like that.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, like
some gangster shit going on with that, man. We got to get to the bottom of that.
Just about every genie is out of the bottle with the NBA, man. Like we have seen just about every scenario or had about every question about somebody doing something or getting some kind of payment or
yeah.
But I digress, man. Those are conversations for another day, man. Man, let's jump on the NBA's first round, man, because we just about the entire tournament is set, with the exception of a couple of rounds that we don't know. But in the Western Conference, the 2-7 matchup is set. That's going to be San Antonio and Portland. 3-6 is Denver and Minnesota for their annual matchup.
Right.
It seems like they match up annually. 4-5 is going to be the Lakers and the Rockets. And obviously 1-8 is yet to be decided. That's going to be OKC and one of the three teams in question. In the Eastern Conference, the 3-6 matchup is going to be the Knicks and the Hawks. 4-5 matchups is the Cavs and the Raptors, and obviously 2-7 and 1-8 are yet to be decided. So let's just go high level. First round upsets. I know we kind of already teased the Knicks and the Hawks. Also, I want to know which team has the most pressure to deliver at least a finals appearance. Which teams have the least? And then let's talk about individual players with the most pressure to, again, and at least make the finals. We'll say the People's Champ. I know there's a lot in there.
Whoa.
So let's just start. Let's just start with upsets. See any upsets in the
first round?
Yeah.
I wouldn't really consider Atlanta, if they beat New York, that much of an upset, just for the simple fact that the longer that series goes on, I don't really trust Mike Brown.
I mean, yeah, listen. What I would say is I think that series more than any other is going to be important for New York to take game one. Spooky hours if Atlanta come out and win game one. If I was a Knicks fan and Atlanta came out and took game one, I'd be very nervous.
And I don't want to hear that, always hating on the black man type. If Mike Brown loses and gets fired, there's a real strong likelihood that his replacement it would probably be black in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's probably like the only league where it's like a legit 50-50 shot. His replacement might be black.
Very true.
But, I mean, he's just kind of shown a history as series go on. And, if they, if they progress, he gets a little suspect. I mean, not saying I'm rooting against him, but that's what I have my eye on. And also, I think that Atlanta has the pieces.
Listen, Atlanta, they playing great defense right now.
Especially when we're talking most improved. Nickeil Alexander.
Yeah,
Walker is on one.
Yeah, he's playing great. Jalen Johnson is playing great. I mean, the team is playing great. They got the number one defensive rating in the league since the All-Star break. I think if Dyson Daniels jumps all over Mikal Bridges and erases him, that's problematic.
I think, and I think too, they'll have to make shots in the half court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, again, because Atlanta, they've had really good shot selection, and they've had really good shot making also. And I understand 7-game series are different, but listen.
Let's see. The stage, they're on the stage now.
Yeah. I think that, to Nephew's point, I think Karl Anthony Towns should have the advantage against their front court.
Karl Anthony Towns should have the advantage against most NBA front courts. That's why he's the ire of so much of my disdain.
Right, yeah. Like, he should have the advantage. He should against Onyeka Okongwu and what's the backup? Mo Gay is the backup.
He's got every tool you need to have his way with whoever's in front of him.
He should average 25 and 13 in this series, and he should dominate his matchups. But, if he comes out timid, if he comes out, and
doing his best Craig Hodges impersonation,
then, it could be scary hours. So, I agree with that. Listen, don't sleep on Toronto, too. I think Toronto could give Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean,
they could give the winners. So
I mean, and let's not sleep on his sidekick either. I mean, like
Donovan Mitchell, he's never been to a conference
he's like
final.
The Game 5 legend. You get what I'm saying? Like you got Game 6 Clay. It's like Game 5 Donovan Mitchell, bro.
Say he got the perfect understudy.
And then like we'll run out of gas on your ass in a New York minute, man. But I like Donovan Mitchell.
I do too.
And like he's one of those players where the pressure's kind of on, where it's like, hey, man, the hope is not at our expense, but it's like, hey, man.
Yeah, so which team has the most pressure to at least make a finals appearance out of all of these teams that are in the playoff picture?
To make a finals appearance?
At least make a finals appearance.
And you talking about pressure?
Yeah, the pressure.
I'm going to come out of left field a little bit. And I'm going to say the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You know what
Not that I'm saying I think they're going.
No, you know what? I wrote them down. I'm like, even though Ant-Man is relatively young, they've been around the block a few times. They've been at the door a couple of times, and I think they've been to the Western Conference Finals. What, 2 years in? Is it 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been there 2 years in a row. Yeah, it's getting this group, this unit that they've had, it's time for them to do something, or it's time,
or blow it up.
Or it's time to start making adjustments.
And I'm heavy on Ant-Man. That's
listen,
my dude.
I'm bullish on Ant-Man.
It's gonna get to a minute where it's gonna stop being cute, and it's gonna start to get stale.
Yep. No,
and then they'll start really nitpicking. Like you thought they were nitpicking at him before. That's when the nitpicking will really start.
Yep.
And yeah, I got my eye on Minnesota, and to back to the Ant-Man point, the front office and him are going to have some decisions to make. I believe was it next offseason?
Yeah. No, I believe so. Yeah.
Is it 27? Or the 28?
About for his extension?
Yeah, because what is it like? They're talking that Ant-Man's going to be the first guy that's eligible to make $1 million a game.
Oh wow!
Like 1 year, $82 million contract. I mean, $82 million per year.
Oh wow!
$1 million per game.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I don't have his contract. His
Anthony
deal
Edwards is under contract until 2028, 2029.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2029.
Okay. Yeah, but no, man, I agree. I think that this unit, yeah, they running out of steam a little bit. So no, I agree, and also, you know, not to be too heavy on the New York Knicks, but you know, they fired their head coach. Mike Brown was supposed to be an upgrade. You know, I think they have a lot of pressure, even though, again, I'm not picking them either.
Right.
To come out of the East, but there's a lot of pressure there. I mean, it's you know, it's getting late in the day for that unit as well, and like you said, there's not a lot of flexibility with them.
Yeah, the Knicks are running out of seasoning in the cupboard.
Yeah, I'm like it's.
You can't put Franks on everything.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep, I think the Knicks is definitely the Knicks is definitely the team, because you know OKC, they got a title, Boston got a title, Denver got a title. You know, Ant-Man is young, but yep, I put the Timberwolves too. You know, the Rockets, they've underachieved, but you know, the handwriting was on the wall without Van Vliet. You know,
right?
Like, you know, we kind of knew. You know, the Pistons and the Spurs, they young, you know, like we talked about, people still see them as ahead of schedule, you know, like
Van Fleet and Steven Adams.
Right, yeah. You know, like they missing a couple of they big guns, so people kind of look at that as, you know, them being at a disadvantage. But no, yeah, I agree with you. I did put Minnesota second, but I'm like, the Knicks are first, and yeah, it's just getting weird. And then what about the players with the most pressure to make at least a finals appearance?
The Winter Soldier and Donovan Mitchell in the Eastern Conference.
That's exactly who I got.
And in the West, though they've won before, I think because of the matchup that they have in the first round, I'm gonna go with Jamal Murray.
Okay, you say Jamal got to get
because
back
he struggles against Minnesota.
Yep,
he mightily against, and I mean, you know, Anthony Edwards guarding him,
and McDaniels
and Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels is a great defender,
White Dante's a good defender. Always has
Dante
been.
Mitchell, yeah. I mean Dante DiVincenzo. Yep.
So I think, because the reason why I say that is, if there's like a counter to a Wemby in the Western Conference in the playoffs, I think it is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I think if they can get by a Minnesota, then, you know, they can kind of set themselves in a position to really disrupt some things in the Western Conference, because I just think, you know, when we're talking playoffs and you're talking situational basketball, man, Nikola Jokic in a 7-game series, man.
Hey, man,
when it comes to slowing that game down,
yep.
If Aaron Gordon can stay healthy and make shots and continue to do what he's normally done on the backside of the defense, and in terms of, you know, when he feels like getting more than 6 rebounds,
right?
But the defense is always there. He's a versatile backline defender. If he can continue to do that, they can get anything consistently from like a Cam Johnson.
Yes,
Nikola Jokic can slow a game down close to what LeBron was able to do when he used to make those Eastern Conference runs. I'm not saying but he has that ability. He has that toolbox.
You know, I think the Aaron Gordon thing that's a great point, because especially against San Antonio, I think Aaron Gordon is an X factor, because San Antonio plays the 4 wings in Wemby. Mm-hmm. And Wemby's going to have to guard Jokic. Mm-hmm. And that's going to leave Aaron Gordon. He's going to be a mismatch on offense for whomever, because they're all guards.
They're all
basically.
guards,
You know what
yep.
I'm saying? So like that's the one thing where they are going to have an advantage.
Yep.
If he can find an advantage and he has a great series, yeah, I agree. That gives them an X factor. Yeah, no, I no, that's a good point. Yep, I agree. I think Aaron Gordon is very important. And last year, they took OKC to 7, and he had a bad hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, man, yeah, I agree. I think Denver is, they one of those teams. They could end up coming out of the West. So that I got my eye on them. Yep, I agree. Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, I had them as well.
What a coincidence.
Yep.
I don't know if I think Denver's pieces they're gonna have pressure on them. I don't necessarily know if they have as much pressure to make a finals run as Anthony Edwards does.
Right.
I agree because they've already won. I mean,
And it's not, it's, I don't think it, I don't think it's
Ultimately-
so much that they've already won. I think it's just like if Denver makes it to the conference finals, I think everybody will be happy.
Right.
Ultimately about how their season unfolded. Like I don't think anybody really expected them with the way it has gone to be like, okay, they made it to the conference final and they put up a fight.
Mhm.
Right.
I think with
No, go ahead.
the pressure, I think with Ant, the pressure is on him to make that like a serious run at the finals is because if you look around the rest of the rest, you got OKC who won.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Spurs who Wemby, he's ahead of schedule.
Yep.
Denver, like you said, won.
Mm-hmm.
Luka, I mean, he already had his run, and he
been to the finals.
and it's just they're working through the transitional phase right now, so that he got some time before the pressure's back on him. Really, Houston's situation is Houston's situation, and then Portland's just happy to be here.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They up and coming.
Right. So like, if you look at the landscape, it's like this is your if you were to say to be the face of the league, if you want to be that top dog, this is the time where you need to go ahead and grab it by the horns and.
Oh, I agree. I mean, like I said,
can't disagree with you.
I agree. No, like I said, the only reason why I go with Murray and just separating him from the team is because I feel as if they lose in this first round against Minnesota, you'll be able to point at Jamal Murray's stat line and be like, see, he did it again.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel if he plays well and they get by Minnesota, who knows what Denver can do?
Yeah.
That's why. But
I agree.
But if you say the totality in Ant-Man in terms of Ant-Man, I'm looking at Ant-Man in terms of his career.
Right.
Like, I think this is, like, big for his, like,
I agree.
career.
Yeah, like, I think
with
he
more
needs...
so with Murray, I think it's, like, the singular moment of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with both of y'all because I feel like Ant-Man is poised to take that next step in his career.
His championship.
Yeah, is to become a real contender. And not be a cute story. You know what I'm saying? Like, like even though he keep kind of coming in as a lower seed and all of that, like you've been to the conference finals a couple years in a row. It's the next step is finals. At least get to the finals, and be a contender, be on the big stage. Like you said, face of the league. That feels like the next step in his maturation. And even though like the Timberwolves are not really on anybody's radar like that, this is the opportunity for him to come out of nowhere and announce himself.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
And he can do it. I mean,
I agree.
Depending on how that knee's feeling.
And I'm not even saying he has to make the finals. Make it obvious that if the reason we didn't make the finals isn't because of me.
Oh, yeah.
Announce himself.
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about that with that, man.
Like, make it clear that, hey, if we didn't make the finals, it wasn't because of anything that I did or didn't do.
It'll be Julius Randle's fault. Don't worry.
Yeah, because another one in the playoffs.
Julius Randle got your back, though. Where
Julius Randle was another one.
He's got a nice 4-19 game 6 or pivotal game 5 coming for you.
But let's move on to I want to talk specifically about the Lakers and the Rockets.
Oh, man.
The Lakers with the win over the Jazz on the final day of the season maintain home court advantage in the number 4 seed in the Western Conference. They actually could have moved up to the 3rd seed if Denver would have lost to San Antonio, which most people anticipated, even without Wemby. But
that was just wild.
That was. But as it turns out, they will take on Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. Lakers will be without their 2 stars, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, leaving LeBron to reassume his role as the number 1 option. Currently, the Lakers are a heavy underdog to pull off the upset in the series. Latest odds have the Lakers at plus 540 to win the series. First, what do the Lakers need to do to win the series? Also, if LeBron manages to win the series, what does it do for his legacy, if anything at all? What say the people's champ?
What was the last part? What do to his if they win?
Yeah, if they win, what does it do for his legacy, if anything at all?
Oh, okay. So what do they need to do to win? I mean, many argue that LeBron James is the GOAT. They may need to sacrifice a GOAT to make it out of this series against the Houston Rockets. The biggest disappointment to me in this series is that we got something that I wanted to see probably about 12 years too late. And that is like a stripped down, mano-a-mano, LeBron James, KD matchup where it's like, yeah, we got other pieces, but they're just the other pieces.
Yeah.
We're all here because of us. And let's go and see who's the dog.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we'd have got that in like 2013. Instead, we got like a flag football game in Akron somewhere or some dumb shit. But, so I will be looking at that and, in the back of my mind, like, I'd have been cool to see this some years ago, but I'll take it now. But outside of that.
You got it in 2012. You didn't like that in 2012 in the finals when Durant was in OKC?
The birth of the Winter Soldier, you mean? The birth of the Winter Soldier, you mean? All the evidence was laid out in front of us right then and there. And, and the legend of one Scott Brooks. I want to leave that alone, man. Don't get me started on. That Thunder team should have been won their first title, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, my 3% from last week still stands. Like the Lakers have a 3% chance of winning that series, barring a wet spot on the floor, an injury, and I never wish that on anyone on both sides. I just don't feel that the Lakers have the pieces, and you're asking a lot of LeBron James at this age. I think he can probably give it to you 3-4 games, but if this series stretches out, man, that's going to be tough.
Yeah,
that's another one of those where you say they better get game 1 just to start thinking about doing something.
I agree. I'm like, game 1 is important.
I will say this. I do still think LeBron James is good enough to win a game by himself.
Yeah, listen, he's been excellent the last stretch of the season without Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. I will say that. He's, they're the best numbers. I think it's the best stretch of games that he's had since 2020, since they won the championship. If that, for whatever that means. But
those other pieces, bro.
But schematically, I don't think there's anything that they can do.
It's going to be rough, man.
Again, even at 41, LeBron, arguably the best player in the series. I don't think he is. I think it's probably still KD at this point. But, LeBron is right there, second best player in the series. The problem is that the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th best players in the league all play in the series, all play for Houston.
Man, the gap between Houston's second best player and the Lakers' second best player.
That's what I'm saying. Even if you go across the matchups, Jabari Smith is better than Rui. Amen Thompson is better than Marcus Smart. Şengün is better than Ayton. Just matchup for matchup, it's
not a good look.
It's not, but in terms of even if LeBron could manage to win the series, what it would do for his leg, I don't think it does anything. I think LeBron is already solidified. He doesn't have anything. I said this last week. I feel like a broken record. LeBron doesn't have anything more to prove.
What does it do? to Kevin Durant's legacy?
That's
Dun.
That's actually a more compelling question. I mean, listen, I think KD, you know what? That's a I heard a great comparison this week.
Oh.
You just scratched something out of my head, man.
Oh.
I heard somebody compare Kevin Durant. They did a cross sports analogy.
Okay. I like those.
To Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, damn. Hold on now.
And I was like, you know what?
I'm going to hear you out.
Maybe the best thrower of the football that I've ever seen. You know, so like outstanding skill set. But, you know, weird with his teammates. Always problems with the teammates. Weird in the locker room. Ain't really interested in, you know, leadership skills are interesting. Like, no, I mean, like they broke it down. I was there. I was with him. I'm like,
but
also,
KD he you know the thing.
He's not quite as
KD seems
eccentric.
likable, bro.
Yeah,
like
no,
Aaron Rodgers, there are some times they're just like, oh my God.
I'm mainly talking on the field. You know, on the playing surface type stuff. He's not quite as eccentric as Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm strictly talking on the playing surface, like
DMT in the cave, butt naked.
Yeah, like yeah, no. Yeah, like I'm strictly talking more on the playing surface though. Like just the extraordinary talent though. Because Aaron Rodgers
just checks all the boxes of everything you could ever want in a player.
Jaw-dropping talent though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just the insane talent, but you just feel like, you know, you just like what's you know, like you can't put your hand around what's missing sometime. Because like with KD, I'm like, you know, it's just that I think he can do everything. Just like with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers could do he just wasn't interested in doing everything. Just like last year. Like he wasn't interested in quarterback sneaking. They had the tight end doing it the whole time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
I wouldn't be interested either at 42.
I wouldn't either. Retire.
I mean, I agree.
That's what retirement is for. Like, just get up out of
good, though, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's got enough money. You know what I'm saying?
No, but them checks stop coming every 2 weeks when you retire that amount.
I'm sure. Listen, I've never made that much money, so I might be in there too. Like, get the
dopamine hit when you hit that boy, like, woo!
Oh yeah, listen. I'm sure that I'm not judging, man. So I'm like, look,
but I feel you, bro. Like,
make the money as long as you can, but that's the thing.
Don't stink it up.
Yeah, but I thought that it was a great. I thought that it was a great cross sports comparison. Like I thought that it hit because
they are the elite of the elite.
They are. Like I'm like, man, you know, like Aaron Rodgers, like at his best, maybe the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. Kevin Durant at his best, maybe the best offensive skill set that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, on any platform throwing the football, it's hard to think of it.
Yeah, no, like Aaron Rodgers, like just like strictly getting the ball out from any arm angle.
Yeah, bro. We seen a lot of it too. We've probably seen them all.
Yeah, and I'm like, that dude was like that.
Wizard.
Yeah, he was like that. He got the ball into some tight windows, man. But
all you had to do was wait for the playoffs.
But that's a good question because there's a lot of conversation about whether or not KD is a top 10 player of all time. And I'm like, listen, it just depends on what you value. Fringe. God. It would probably be hard for me to put him in the top 10, but if you did, I couldn't really argue hard.
See, but when we do these, like, there's no set criteria.
Correct. That's
it's
why
just
I
like
say
the
it.
top. Like, so, and I'm talking about not just basketball. Like, can we get like an authority on what consists of a top 10? And it's got to be a more expansive definition than the best.
Yeah, see,
like what consists
and that's
of
why
the best of?
It depends on what you value. That's why I always say, like, everybody's going to have a different top 10 list. Like, and again, I hate to be so LeBron and Jordan centric, but I have these conversations all the time. I'm like, listen, it depends on what you value. I'm like, you know, LeBron fans tend to do a lot of pearl clutching.
Right.
When Bleacher Report, for example, makes a top 100 NBA players of all time, and Jordan is at the top. And I'm like, listen, Jordan don't have to be at the top of your list. You can say, hey, man, to me, it's LeBron, because I think that it depends on what you value. It depends on what you're looking at. Like, if you just looking at, you know, because I will admit, LeBron has had the longest prime of any player that I've ever seen.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like he had 20 years of 25 plus points per game. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like you know, if that's what you value, then you certainly are going to put LeBron at the top of your list,
right,
because you value somebody being able to go and lace them up for 20 years in a row,
right,
averaging 25 plus points per game. If you value that, then I'm like, what I value is, I'm like, man, how much can you get done in what amount of time?
Right.
Because, you know, people like, man, Jordan didn't start winning till the 90s. I'm like, but that don't define dominance, because if it does, then LeBron ain't that dominant, because he won 4 championships in 23 years. I'm like, Jordan had the greatest season on record in 1988.
But when they bring that up, though, do they always just conveniently ignore the fact that Michael Jordan came into the league in the middle of a restorative, like, rivalry that saved the sport?
Yeah, I mean,
it was like the middle of the Lakers and Celtics rivalry, where the NBA itself was like, the modern NBA was being established and redefined.
Post-merger.
Literally, as he stepped into the league. So not only is like you're in the middle of prime Lakers, you know what I'm saying, prime Celtics, not necessarily prime Sixers, but damn it, Google Moses Malone in any year of Dr. J. I'm not talking about you, of course.
Yeah, no.
But you get what I'm saying? Or even the Pistons.
Yeah, right, the bad boy Pistons.
Or I dare you know, I mean, so it's, they leave that part out where they talk about he lost in the 80s. Well, yeah, you guess what? Everybody lost to the Lakers and the Celtics in the 80s, but one team.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing of it is that if winning championships is the only thing that defines dominance,
Bill Russell does not leave the number 1 spot.
Right. And also, and again, eras, the pre and post merger.
Right.
I'm like, Michael Jordan was dominant before he won championships.
Right.
He had the greatest season on record in 1988. He won the league MVP, All-Star Game MVP, Slam Dunk title, first team All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-Defense. I mean, steals title. He won everything.
Well, you know they say that some of those stats are made up now.
Even if some of them are. It's still the most dominant season
they gave him
on
some
record.
Stats.
So, even if they did,
they're fake.
Even if you take some of them away,
they're not real.
That's fine. Like, even if he won the league MVP, All-Star Game MVP, made first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense, and didn't even get nothing else, that's still the illest season.
And then also too, you can't discredit, because to your point of it's what you value. You can't discredit what some people have seen.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who've seen Wilt.
Yep. No doubt.
I mean, they may not be alive now. Some may be, but somewhere there may be a photographer that worked for the Philadelphia Inquirer in the early 50s. I mean, late 50s to mid 60s, late 60s, or may have worked out in LA. There was no era where you could see Wilt and not be like, this is the most ridiculous athletic specimen that I've ever laid my eyes on.
Real talk.
You get what I'm saying? Or if you were the college beat writer at LSU in 1968 and you seen Pete Maravich.
Right.
Nobody ain't gonna convince you anything that Kyrie Irving's done is not something that they've seen Pete Maravich do in practice with no cameras around, with a leather ball.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just, so you can't discredit that either.
Yeah.
You can't discredit what other players who've battled these guys factor into, their equation. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you may think Joe Blow player sucked because on the back of his basketball card it shows he had, a career whatever points per game.
Mm-hmm.
their opinion carries way more, weight so it's like there's no concrete
criteria,
for what a top 10, is. Like how you can do it with like the highest grossing movies of all time.
Correct.
Like they narrow it down to gross.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't say top 10 most dominant players of all time.
Right.
Or top 10 most skilled players of all time. Or top 10 winningest players of all time.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They say player of all time. And it's too gray to me.
Yeah, I agree. And and that was the point that I was making. I'm like, the reason why a Bleacher Report would do a top 100 players of all time and put Jordan at number 1 is because what they value is how much you get done in the shortest amount of time. And what Michael Jordan did in the amount of time in which he did it is what they value. That doesn't mean that that's what anybody else has to value. I'm like, but the basketball public at large, the consensus, I'm not saying everybody, that it just means that most people, like most of the time when you take a fan poll, most of the time when you take an anonymous player poll, I'm not talking about when you ask people to say it out loud, because Clutch Sports is punitive. A lot of people be like, oh, it's LeBron. But when you take these anonymous polls like the Athletic used to do, they didn't do it this year for some reason, but they did it for several years in a row. Michael Jordan would win. You ask former players, Michael Jordan will win. You ask the public, Michael Jordan wins. Because what the public values is how much you got done in a short amount of time. And yes, cultural impact factors in. You know what I'm saying? Awards factor in. Averages factor in. Advanced stats factor in. All of that factors in. It's not just cumulative stats, but some people value cumulative stats, like Isaiah Thomas, like he was saying that, all of these major statistical categories. Yeah, but those ain't the only statistical categories.
By that metric, he's saying John Stockton's better than him.
Yeah, exactly. And I know he don't believe that.
And I don't either, Zeke.
Yeah, I don't either. But again, if that's what you value, then fine. Like if you think John Stockton is better than you, then just say that. But I didn't want to,
So, but no, to your point on that Bleacher Report, you said that's where the list was on?
Yeah, I mean, every list.
Well, what number did they have Magic?
You know what? I would have to get the Bleacher Report top 100 player. But like Fox Sports, ESPN, everybody that makes a list of the top 50 NBA players of all time, top 100, Michael Jordan is number one.
No. I know.
All of them.
But you were saying that the Bleacher Report values what he had the most done in a short amount of time.
Most basketball publications.
Right. No.
That's why he's won.
No, I just wonder because I'm like, well, damn, Magic had a 12-year run.
He did.
Where it's just
he had a great 12-year run. He won 5. He won 3 league MVPs, 3 finals MVPs. He had a great run.
He went to 9 finals.
Yeah, he did. He went to 9 finals. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I just wonder where
Magic is typically top 5 on.
No,
because
I was just wondering if that's what one of the main things that Bleacher Report focuses on in terms of what they. I just wonder where he ranks on that, with that being a main stickler.
I was just using Bleacher Report as an example. I wasn't saying that Bleacher Report necessarily, because I don't remember what.
And
Bleacher
I don't
Report,
take them as gospel anyway.
Yeah, I don't remember what their write up was. I was just saying that in general, basketball publications have valued what you got done in the shortest amount of time, which is why Magic is considered the greatest point guard of all time, because his body of work is smaller. He got a more condensed career, but 9 first-team All-NBA selections in like a 12-year, like in 12-year and a 13-year playing career,
top 5. Then was it like second place MVP finishes are like ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's wild, but yeah, I didn't want to go down that rabbit trail, but no, you're right. That's a good question about Kevin Durant, and
let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, yes, we will. I did want to talk about foul baiting. In the NBA. Foul baiting, as defined, in the NBA is a strategic, controversial tactic where offensive players exaggerate or manufacture contact through actions like head snaps, arm swings, body displacement, leaning into defenders in order to draw fouls. It can and has also been used on the defensive end to exaggerate contact, draw offensive fouls. With the season drawing to a close, there has been some suggestion that the NBA's competition committee needs to look at foul baiting and come up with a resolution. Do you see foul baiting as a growing problem? And if so, what would you do to combat it? What say the people's champ?
Foul baiting is a problem only because the NBA has allowed it to become a problem.
Yes.
Until the NBA allocates the appropriate attention and funds to officiating, man, what are we doing? It'll be something different, next offseason. The players have found a way to continuously skirt the system, as they should. If you're a player, you're going to try to come up with as many ways as possible to give yourself a competitive advantage within the rules. Like that's just how it goes. But the thing is within the rules.
Right.
Like some of this stuff that these guys are doing are like flagrant.
Yes.
And the officials see it, and because it's gone on for so long with, X player, it's now looked at as a tendency in terms of how it's viewed by the officials. And, now they've hamstringed themselves. And, again, we kind of talked about it earlier, so, I guess this is the time to address it now. I don't know, again, what the NBA needs to do in terms of a solution, but there has to be some type of officiating reform and restructuring in the NBA, like an initiative. Like, I don't know if they have to go back and overpay quality officials that retired too soon to kind of just, may be ahead of some type of committee. But there has to be a certain level of respect restored to what the official brings to the game, and it has to go both ways. Because, the officials know, too, that, like, two blown or bad calls early in the game is going to change the tempo of the game.
Yep.
You're going to dictate the action. And, a lot of them know that. But, again, if there's no accountability for that official that knowingly does that, then, you have a problem just proliferating itself over and over and over and over. So, yeah, man, until the NBA decides to throw some real money and the real experts at it collectively, if it's not foul baiting, it'll be a new, way to get around foot movement,
right,
or something. It'll be something.
Yep. To me, and this might sound controversial, I think that the NBA needs to do away with the idea of legal guarding position. I think that the defender needs to be entitled to his space. Too much onus is put on the defender to be in a legal guarding position. And the offensive player don't have to be in legal driving position or legal shooting position. You know what I'm saying? The defender is entitled to his space. You are entitled to your space. If you jump into the defender's space, that's an offensive foul. If the defender jumps into your space, that's a defensive foul. I'm like, too much onus is put on defenders.
Yeah. But what do you do with that weak ass hooking that they do?
I was just
like that and
that's I have that in here. So the offensive player can be in whatever position, and I'm supposed to react and maintain a specific guarding position. So, for example, if my arms are out and the offensive player swings his arms under mine, traditionally that's been called a shooting foul almost automatically. The premise being that the defender isn't in legal guarding position, thereby impeding the offensive player from getting into his shooting motion.
Yeah.
The rule should be that the defender is entitled to his space, just like the offensive player is entitled to his space. Since the offensive player came into the defensive player's space, that should be an offensive foul. In those instances, it's clear that the offensive player is altering his shooting motion to draw contact from the defender. Instances such as this should be examined on a case-by-case basis in order to determine who has the right to the space, not who needs to maintain what position. This is obviously an unfair standard for the defender. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. And again, this is not just a new thing, because I remember Reggie Miller doing that. He's really the first player I remember swinging his arms under the defender's arms.
A little swing through.
Yeah, to get the foul. And that is, you're obviously altering your shooting motion. That is not your normal shooting. Nobody shoots like that, to swing your arms up under a defender's arms in order to get your shot into your shooting motion. That is obviously a maneuver to draw a foul, and it should be an offensive foul because it's clearly the offensive player going into the D. I mean, James Harden literally holds his arms out when he drives, looking to go underneath the arms of the defender. That should be an offensive foul. The defender is entitled to his space. James Harden is trying to go under the arms of the defender. That should definitely be an offensive foul. And defenders just need to be entitled to whatever space they're in. They shouldn't be held to some unreasonable standard of maintaining a certain position while the offensive player is on the move, and they are too.
Because there's no way for you to guard Luka Doncic. Like there's any of them. Like there's no chance. Like you have no chance of guarding. None.
But the thing is that it would be hard to do that with anybody that's on the move, even if they're not that athletic or quick. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like they just even if they're big lumbering guys, it would be hard for anybody on the move to maintain a certain position if you don't know where they're going. That's why the offensive player is at an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I don't know what they do, man. Like, do they? I don't know. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Do you take a page out of the NFL and you have like official like coordinators live in game and like
you
earpieces and like, no, you fucked up.
You just gotta you just have to do away with the whole idea of legal guarding position, because I'm telling you, that is what when the referee is making his assessment, that's what he's assessing. And most of the time, the defender is at a disadvantage. That's why the whole premise of legal guarding position has to be, you got to just take that out.
It sounds like they need to more so hold firm, because, you know, we're solid on what's a defensive foul.
Correct.
But, you know, we have these varying of degrees of offensive fouls.
Yeah, but that's because the standard for the defender is so high, because the defender has to maintain a certain position.
Yeah, they got to remain vertical.
Yes, the offensive player can do whatever they want to do. That's why the standard for the defender is high. That's why offensive fouls are such a gray area. But if you just take away the whole premise of legal guarding position and you say, okay, this person is entitled to this space. If you are offensive and you're moving into this person, that's either a no call. You can move into them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain number, because basketball is a contact sport. There's a certain amount of allowed contact.
Right.
But if you displace them, that's an offensive foul. If you move into them, at a minimum, that's a no call. But you're not going to automatically just get a call because, like,
but I just think but I just think the players, I mean, just basketball, they're just too good. Where if you give them that much space, you're gonna get cooked.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Like you're not like, if I'm an offensive player, you're not just gonna let me know going into what space I have to work. Like you giving me a zone to work with that I'm just gonna shoot before I approach the zone.
Well, no, but the thing is that the defender is just entitled to the space that they're in. It doesn't mean that they can't body up and defend you.
But I'm saying, if I know the space, like, well, if I know the defender can only come this far, all the offensive player has to do is just focus on creating just that much space.
Well, no, the defender can come up and defend you, and they can body up. But the defender is just
You talking about when the whistle blows and they say, the guarding position part of it.
like so there's still contact allowed. What I'm saying is that you have to do away with the whole idea of legal guarding position, because the thing is that the reason why the defensive fouls are proliferating and the foul baiting is happening is because the offensive player knows that the defensive player has an unreasonable standard to stay in a certain position, and the offensive player can get him off balance with any. I mean, like you said,
Right.
these guys are so good. Yeah. They know that they with a jab step, I can get you off balance. With a hard dribble drive, I can get you off balance. There's no way for you to really maintain legal guarding position for the entirety of my move.
I just think I agree. But I think as well that, again, they just have to go back to this is legal. This isn't legal. And then and to your point, when they pull this stuff and since they review everything, and they review everything, like, oh, nah, bro, he went and grabbed the defender, had his arm out. The offensive player.
Yeah, went into him.
Offensive foul.
Yeah,
bro.
Easily.
Offensive foul.
Right.
Forget the no call stuff. No,
Right.
Offensive foul.
Right. Yeah. You
Offensive foul.
Yep.
And then if you do it again, technical foul.
Right.
That's how you get rid of it.
Yeah. I agree.
Because again, somebody has to be held accountable, because the offensive player is always going to try to find ways to get an advantage.
Because flopping is supposed to be a technical
And you're
foul.
hamstringing the defender.
Yeah. But flopping is supposed to be a technical foul.
I agree. And they've been light on that.
And
They've been
they
light
hardly
on that.
ever call it.
Yeah, they've
And
been light on that.
Never call it on offensive
They
players.
wait for the Hollywood moment to call it a flop.
They never call it on offensive players, though.
Nope.
Offensive players out there throwing their head back. They out there doing all kinds of theatrics trying to get called.
That's a flop.
That's a flop.
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
That is a flop.
Man, Nikola, man, I could keep going.
Well, I know he's just the biggest one.
Yeah,
Not the biggest offender, but the biggest body.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And when he flails, it just looks so pathetic. But it's like, dude, nip it in the bud right there on the floor.
Yeah.
Foul, second foul tech.
Yep.
Let those add up.
No, I'm with you. I'm like,
Because something's got to give, man.
you got to figure out something with the foul baiting, because it just makes the game look ridiculous. Let's get into Joel Embiid, man. Poor Joel Embiid. Prior to the Philadelphia 76ers game versus the Houston Rockets on Thursday, April 9th, star center Joel Embiid underwent medical attention for what at the time was described an illness. It was later discovered that Embiid had appendicitis and had to quickly undergo an appendectomy in Houston the same day. He has been discharged, but he is expected to miss the entire play-in tournament. It is said that he could return at some point during the playoffs if the 76ers advance. Typical recovery time for an appendectomy is 2 to 4 weeks. Joel Embiid's injury history and his legacy. I mean, is he just cursed? Does he have bad genetics? Should he consider retirement? Man, what say the people's champ?
Man, let's just end it. I'm so over Joel Embiid. God bless him.
I know, but poor guy.
He's another guy that you can add to one of those, the what if list.
Yep.
I mean, Joel Embiid, and it's just exhausting, and it's sad. It is, because I can only imagine how he feels.
Yeah, I know.
Like before people get to, cracking jokes and dogging, while there's a line wrapped around the block to, fillet Victor Wembanyama. Joel Embiid dropped 70 on Victor Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, let's not just act like Joel Embiid is just like some passenger.
Yeah, no, Joel Embiid a beast, man.
This is Hall of Fame talent.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Hall of Fame skill set and ability, whose body just never cooperated with him. I mean, even back at Kansas.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, would he miss his first year or two? Did he miss the first year?
He didn't. Did he play a game at Kansas?
Yeah, I mean, the guy has just been snake bit by injuries, and I think he's super talented.
Oh man, the talent's always been there. I mean, to achieve what he's achieved.
Yeah.
He's never. I don't think Joel Embiid's ever been 85%.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the one glimmer of hope that you have is Kawhi. You know, like Kawhi he looked wonky for 2 or 3 seasons, but you're right.
Joel
he's so much larger.
He's just
though.
he's just
And the knees.
Yeah, you just know when he's not. You know he's never been in shape at any point of this season. There's no way for him to be.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and again, like I said, there's plenty of people that will be able to joke on Joel Embiid, and and if that's what you do, and I normally do, I've ran out of them at this point.
I just feel bad for the guy
it's just
at this
like
point, man.
because again, it gets to the point now. He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, man.
You know, you can't. You
don't bounce back like
and psychologically that's got to be rough. And again, to know as a competitor, like you don't get to that level, and not be a competitor, and to know that you've probably, I won't say never, but for the majority of your career, haven't had the opportunity to give it the full 100. Because again, man, 70 points on Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. Nah, man, yeah.
And even then, he was hobbled.
Right.
You know, just to not ever see him operating at full octane for just a stretch, just a 3-year stretch, maybe. Right. Just to never get that. And to, you hope that it happens, but to think that it could now on, how old is Joel? 31?
Man, that's a good question. You know what? Let me look, because I was just looking at all of his information.
Wait, 32, 31, 32?
32.
I mean, man.
Yeah, I know it's getting late.
I mean,
getting late early.
And then, you start to get 34, 35, 36, that metabolism starts to slow down a little bit. And we've seen Joel kind of get chunky in the offseason.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, he's a big dude anyway.
Right. The big guy.
Yeah.
So it just sucks, man. It sucks because the thing about it is, when he's out there, he performs, and he gives you what he has. But I don't know how much longer he can take it. I don't know how much longer as an organization you game plan around it in terms of strategy for the team,
right.
The medical staff, like all of that. I mean, it's just such a multi-level maintenance job to just get them out there on the court.
Right.
It's exhausting to think about. So, it just sucks, man. It's just kind of one of those things where there's always seems to be a player in every generation where they show you what they are, but then you wonder what they could be because that's even greater than what you've seen.
Yep, and he's reached some pretty high heights,
right,
as it is, man. So get well soon, big fella. Myles Garrett, man. April 10th, it was reported that Myles Garrett did not show up for Phase 1 of the Cleveland Browns off-season program. Reports are it was expected. He's done it in the past, but it's going to reportedly cost him about $1 million of his base salary. There's apparently a clause in his contract that states he must participate in 84.375% of all off-season workout sessions. That's a strange percentage. Garrett seems willing to sacrifice the money to maintain his routine, but his absence is only fueling the speculation about him being traded this offseason. Also, a contract tweak was made with respect to his bonuses that would make it easier to move him. That is supposedly what sparked the latest round of trade rumors. So with all of the rumors coupled with Myles not showing up for the first phase of offseason workouts, is the Myles Garrett situation something to watch? What say the people's champ? For some reason, I get Browns news. This is why I brought this up. I'm like, for some reason, I'm subscribed to heavy on Browns. I think it's because of the Shador commentary.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cleveland, so I mean, you can keep your eye on it if you want to.
Right.
Some people like looking at 12-car pileup. Some people like to keep their eye on the road and keep moving.
I mean, this could be something to watch, but I'm not sure that teams have the appetite for these high-priced edge rushers that they once did. I mean, I'm not going to say that one man's commentary moved the needle on said topic. You see what I did there?
Yeah, there you go.
But I have noticed that the edge rusher contracts have scaled down considerably since a certain clip made the rounds on certain platforms. That's all I'm going to say about that.
True.
The Detroit Lions draft development. So we're now just over a week away from the start of the NFL draft. Round 1 starts on Thursday, April 23rd. I looked at 4 mock drafts. All of them have the Lions drafting an offensive lineman with the 17th pick in the first round. CBS Sports had us drafting Monroe Freeland, 6'7", 315-pound tackle out of Georgia. Bleacher Report had us drafting Blake Miller, 6'7", 317-pound tackle out of Clemson. Fox Sports also had us drafting Blake Miller. Pro Football Focus had us taking Spencer Fano, 6'6", 311-pound tackle out of Utah. I'm not interested in him at all, by the way. According to his measurements, he has shorter arms than Will Campbell.
Oh, no.
We don't need to revisit that conversation, but I'm absolutely not interested in a tackle with short arms. And I would like an interior defensive lineman or an edge rusher, but if we are going to go with the tackle, I would like Caden Proctor out of Alabama, 6'7", 352 pounds. I've heard him compared to Jonathan Ogden. He's versatile. He can also play guard, sort of like Mekhi Becton, real big guy. He's athletic and powerful. But the question I want to ask you is, I've seen a couple of draft projections with Caleb Downs sliding a little bit. And just for a reference, in the past 20 years, there have only been 6 safeties that have been taken in the top 10. And only one of them signed a second contract with the team that drafted them. So I'm going to ask the people's champ, if Downs slides, no pun intended, you interested in the Lions making that pick?
No.
At 17? You don't want Downs?
I mean, listen, it sounds great in theory.
Yeah, because I do.
Because here's my thing. I know we're depleted in the defensive backfield,
especially at safety, and he
know.
can play. And he's a Swiss Army knife back there. He can play them all.
I know, but man, listen, when the O-line's not there, it's bad.
Yeah,
like it's bad, and everything else, I'm willing to go back and forth with people about this upcoming season, but I don't want to go back and forth with people about any slippage in the production of Jared Goff due to like the offensive line. I just don't want to. I just don't want to drive down that road like at all.
I can dig it.
I
mean, I already think that the offensive line is going to be better.
Mm-hmm. But I want it to be as good as it was in 2024. That's what I want, or close to it as possible.
You want a great O-line.
I mean, because that's what Jared Goff needs for us to be good.
I mean, so I kind of feel like the offensive production last year was good.
And Nick Pacheco definitely needs to come through the first level of the defense clean.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like the offense didn't really fall off last year, though. I kind of where we struggled last year was on defense. Like we had offensive explosions,
but the quality wasn't the same, though.
No, it wasn't. But we need defense. We need to be able to get stops.
But man,
and I'm like, Caleb Downs is a stud.
I agree, man, but I just think we have to keep Goff clean.
No, I mean, might all be pie in the sky. I don't think
somebody throwing some fake out information.
I don't think there's a strong possibility that he slides to 17. I don't think there's a strong possibility of that.
I think that's the wrong person you need to be asking about if they slide. If we're gonna have to, need to have a come to Jesus moment.
Who you thinking about?
I think if these reports that are coming out are true, then you're gonna probably have to have that moment with Ruben Bain.
Oh, I mean that's
Well,
nothing to think
now,
about, buddy.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. Now,
That's not.
what are the rumors about this?
Bring Ruben Bain and his hairline over here, dog. Have you seen this dude's hairline?
I mean, that's all right.
It's dastardly.
Hey,
but,
man, listen, sometimes you got to take it back to 79.
right? So, yeah, I'm like, you're
Ain't nothing wrong with a little Lionel Jefferson.
So, I mean, he was cited for that 2024 incident, auto incident that ultimately resulted in the passing of the other victim. So,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
damn. I mean,
yeah.
Listen, man.
Did he repent?
Listen. I wanted to draft Jalen Carter, so I'm the wrong person.
Yeah,
to
you're the
ask,
wrong
bro.
guy to ask about this.
I'm like, man, listen.
and you
They
know,
all a little crazy, man.
I say this: ask Hutch.
right. I'm like,
That's a Hutch. Oh man,
But I think
man, that's.
I'm
I
with
think that's a question that you
How
have
far
to
do you
ask.
think he's going to fall, nephew?
I don't know, but I think that's a question you have to ask yourself because, and I hate to put somebody else's situation onto somebody else, but you take that and then you also remember earlier in the year the whole Jane Pierce Jr. situation.
mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, of course, yeah. Defensive linemen are 9 times out of 10. They got some crazy in them.
Yep.
But it's just, how comfortable are you with bringing that energy, that potential energy into the building?
I mean, listen, I'm always like, man, it's not the good guy. You know, this ain't the Boy Scouts. I want to know if he can play football. Ruben Baines is a monster of a talent. So I'm here for it. I mean, I tend to be a little bit less introspective about that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we passed on Randy Moss because of that type of nonsense.
Stupidity. No, that was stupidity.
No, but that was because of his
Man,
character, and he got
but that was
arrested
stupid.
and all that.
Weed.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, bro. Man, listen, I'm not.
This was.
I'm not.
Terry Fair. God bless Terry Fair.
I know. I'm not.
You just had to do that.
Man, listen, we done passed on a bunch of people because they.
Clinton Portis.
Yeah, because of the character issues.
Jimmy Williams.
Yeah, that don't bother me, man.
I think it's
I want to win.
character issues is different though when you start
Giovanni Bernard.
I wanted Jalen Carter.
two-tongue.
Do I have to repeat
instruments.
that? Do I have to repeat what I just said? I wanted Jalen Carter.
Yeah, you did.
He had the very same issue that you just described with Ruben Baines.
Jalen Carter, I think, caught more bodies.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, man.
God rest the dead, by the way.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not
situation was
making
a little bit more funky.
And I'm not making light of bad behavior. So please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that anybody that does anything wrong should pay for it. But what I'm saying is that, you know,
If he doesn't get locked up and he's available for work, give him a job.
yeah, right. And if he got to, you know, handle that, you know, things got to be handled. He got to be on probation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like that. Those are separate issues.
Shout out KCP when he was hooping with the tether on.
I'm like, you know, if people gotta handle, you know, their personal lives, they gotta handle their personal lives. I tend to be a little bit more compartmentalized when you're talking about somebody's ability to do a particular job. We need them to do a job. You know, like that, you know, because I never really bought into that, you know, here at such and such, we're a family. No, we ain't a family, bro. I work here and you hire me to do a job because I have a certain skill set. And that's okay. I'm like, you know, that doesn't mean that we can't
As soon
be
as
cordial.
it's cheaper to hire somebody else than to keep you,
All
mess
that.
up one time, you gone.
All that. And I'm like, and that's okay. I'm like, I understand the nature
As long as you
of
understand
business.
it, you'll be okay with it.
That's that part. I'm like, I understand the nature of business. You know, here at so-and-so, we ain't a family. We're not a family. That we not. I get a paycheck. And you're not going to give me $100 more if I need $100 worth of groceries. And you're not going to pay me between paydays if I need gas. And that's okay, because that's what a family would
Right.
do.
Family gonna look out when things are tight.
Yeah, y'all ain't here for that. Y'all here to get work out of me, and I'm here to get a paycheck. And that's okay. This is a transactional relationship. This is not a family. I'm not in a transactional relationship with my mother. That's family. But I digress. So yeah, I tend to be a little bit less hung up, but I know that the Lions, we've always been that way. We always been like, well, this guy's got character issues, and well, he didn't interview well. And I'm like, man, can he rush the passer? Can he get us 12 and a half sacks next year? Bring him in. I don't care. Man, listen, bring him in. Get him here. We'll work the rest of it out later, man. We'll send him to group therapy.
We'll provide him the village he needs.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll get him a babysitter like Jerry Jones did with Dez Bryant.
Oh God.
We'll pay somebody to follow him around, whatever. I mean, but yeah, no. Listen. If he's available at 17 and they don't draft him, man, I might tune the Lions out. I might have to get me a mistress team.
Oh.
Because that'll be
that would be a bit ridiculous.
Yep. But man, that's all I got, man. You got anything for the sucker shit segment, man? Anything jump up on your radar?
I won't say the week was sucker free, but it was nothing
pretty,
too egregious that jumped out at me this week.
I was gonna say I didn't have anything either. I said, look, I asked the people's champ, man, if he, things might have jumped onto his radar, but I didn't see anything.
Not that it's sucker shit, but I did want to get your thoughts on it. What'd you think about the Tyson Fury fight on Saturday? Did you check it out?
Yeah, it was okay, man. He called out AJ afterward.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
that was WWE-ish.
Yeah, AJ was like, "Look, man, you know what to do, man. Like the contracts got to be signed, and you know what I'm saying."
I mean, I do respect the fact how AJ kind of aired out some of the ridiculous terms that Tyson Fury has came at him with in his fight. I'm like, okay, I didn't know he said. Like, I like the fact that he provided some context.
Yeah,
because that kind of have been what plagues the big fights in boxing for God knows how long. Like, we never really get the real context. We get a lot of zingers and pot shots and insults, but to actually get like some of the bullet points, and I'd be like, yeah, you can get the Bozak on that too. Like, some of this stuff's just kind of ridiculous. Like, come on. And you gotta say, so you have to say yes as soon as I issue the challenge. You must accept on the spot without reading any contract at all.
So, and let me ask you, the game last night, because a lot of it was a lot of conversation in the basketball groups. A lot of people were saying that the game last night is why Flag is the rookie of the year. Because Khan struggled, and they still scored 127 points. They like, man, it's kind of an ensemble over there in Charlotte, I guess, is the point that a lot of people were making. And I'm like, I can dig that. I'm like, I'm not going to discount what Khan did, because I actually jumped in and defended him. I'm like, because these was the same guys that was there last year.
Right.
The defense is better. Mm-hmm. The offense is more efficient. And the only difference is him. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it ain't because of Sion James. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it $1.
Brandon Miller took a step.
Yeah, listen, I think they all took a step, but you could argue that they all took a step when he was inserted. He
provides spacing. Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so I actually jumped in and defended him. I'm like, I'm not going to say that, but I'm like, I do agree that they definitely, I mean, there's no question they have more good players than Dallas. I mean, like you said, it's not Cooper Flag's fault that they basically destroyed the Mavericks. I mean, nobody knows what Nico Harris.
That 30 for 30 is going to be epic. Oh, man. I hope they really do their homework on that 30 for 30.
They destroyed the Mavericks. I mean, the Mavericks were good.
They went to the finals.
Right. They was good.
They went to the finals.
They was good 10 minutes ago.
Listen, this is what I want to know. When whatever comes out of the 30 for 30 that they do on the 24, 25 Dallas Mavericks, I need to know how, after everything that came out in the wash, this team that went to Game 6 in the NBA Finals with a one-legged Luka Doncic. Mind you, Kyrie Irving, I love Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, the guy with all the angst, running sage through the Boston arena, lays stinker after stinker after stinker against the Boston Celtics, has job security.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. That got to be studied, man.
Kyrie Irving's the last man standing. After all of this is wild to me.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And I love Kyrie. It's not like an indictment. I'm just saying, like,
it's got to be studied.
If we were going to do like some straw pulling of like a group of guys of that roster at that time that just went to the NBA Finals, that's wild.
Yeah, but you know what? I expect them to have a turnaround because they're going to get a good draft pick. Kyrie gonna come back.
And you think Cuban gonna get his boo back?
I mean, yeah, like
they say he fighting to get his
he should take
back.
it back. He should take it back because it ain't been right since he sold it. That's another thing too. Like, yeah, ownership matters, man. We saw that when Mr. Davidson passed away.
100%. Shout out Tom Gores.
Yep,
the double doubles and stuff.
What you got, nephew?
Couple things. First off, something I forgot to mention last week. Mike Malone hired at UNC as a head coach.
Yes.
Any quick thoughts on that hire?
I like it.
I do too.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it with the new structure where you don't have to go out and recruit, man. You just write checks. You know, it would have been problematic under the old structure, I think, where you had to go out and recruit, because I don't think Mike Malone would want to do that.
Right.
But I like it with the new way, because now all he going to have to do is coach the fellas, like, you know, give me, you know, what I need, give me the guys,
Yep.
and I'm going to coach them up.
He can coach him up.
Yep.
He's, you know, Mike Malone is, I think he can appeal to college age kids.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he can kind of like find that line of being stern and also like kind of being cool.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
he
mean?
can get, you know,
versus their football hire, where it's like, no, we were hoping we got like the drill sergeant that would yield maximum results, but instead they just got a saltless.
And I think he'll get upperclassmen too. Like you know, he'll get more upperclassmen guys. They'll be a little bit more mature. I don't know that they'll get as many of the young They'll get some, you know, but I think that he'll get some mature guys in there. You know,
I'm big on, when it comes to basketball, you know, I'm big on teaching. And I think this would be a great opportunity for him to kind of sharpen his tool, because I think Mike Malone should be coaching in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he'll be in college long. But, however, he could, if there's a place that you could go and kick your feet up and you know, and chill and coast out for the next 25 years. Because what's Mike Malone, around our age? He may be a little younger than us, a little older than us.
Oh, Mike Malone. No, Mike Malone is,
He's
got to be in
close
his
to
50s.
right? He's close to our age. Well, hell, we
be in
damn
his
near 50. So
He got to be in his late 50s. No, he got
I
to
don't
be
think he's in his late. What is he? Brendan Malone's kid, right? So he was, you know, maybe like a teenager in the bad boy days.
Oh, that's a good. You know what? Let me look that up. I felt like he was older than us, but maybe I'm tripping. So let me check his age. Yeah, he's 54.
Okay, yeah, so 71s.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. So right around our age.
Yep.
So you can do that for 20, 25 years if you're able to.
Yep.
You know, stay competitive with what Duke has going on in terms of recruiting, because you know Duke stays number one in recruiting. It seems like that's going to be the thing for a while.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So, you know,
but it's so many ways to do it now. You don't have to be number
Dusty.
one. Yeah, you don't have to be number one in recruit. Even with what Illinois did, they went overseas
for sure.
They went overseas and just got guys from overseas. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's so many ways that you can do it now. You don't have to do it like you ain't got to be top 5 in recruit no more. You can go overseas, get some guys from the French league.
Really run it like a smaller NBA.
That's what
franchise.
I'm saying. So I'm like,
sure.
you know, like he ain't got to go sit in living rooms with kids. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
the money's just as good. And the job security is a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think he can coach,
for sure.
with the X's and O's. So
yeah, I'll keep my eye on that. That's we got to get the Carolina Duke rivalry, back to where it looks like Michigan and Michigan State's going to be for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. What else you got now?
All right, this morning we were greeted to news that Kevin McGonigal was extended for 8 years, $150 million. So he won't be a free agent until 2035. Now with the AL being the mess that it is right now, does this extension make it easier on what the Tigers will have to decide to do at the trade deadline? So I guess what I'm asking is, obviously if they're in the race, you're going to want them to go out and be in the buyer's market. But if they're not in the race, do you start thinking about, let's start setting ourselves up for the early 30s, which sounds crazy to say at this point. But.
Man, listen. I mean, the AL, it's all bunched up, man. There's
Don't depress me, man.
Right. There's a bunch of flawed teams in the AL. So I think that.
But I asked that because I think we can all agree early returns on McGonigal. I think we're satisfied with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we are.
That was the right move. I mean, go ahead and lock him up. He clearly belongs on the big squad.
And so now it's just because coming into the season, it was like, oh, this was the last year of the window.
Yeah.
And so now it's just like, do we now have an extension on the window? Not necessarily the whole time, but is there an extension on the window to where now 2030 we should still be at a point that we feel like we should be at, that we're at right now?
I mean,
I know that's a tough question, but I think when you look at the Tigers roster, there's a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah, I mean,
it is, but they're gonna appeal for it.
Yeah, I mean, right. Do I trust Scott Harris to actually manage this situation?
Not at all.
Yeah, like that's the problem. So, I mean, while I'm pleased with McGonigal and him being locked up, for the foreseeable future,
we're still stuck in 2-1 games.
Yeah, I mean, what's most disappointing, I guess, is that what needed to be done in the offseason was very clear. I mean, we needed a right-handed bat. It was very, very clear that that's what held us back last year. And he decided, for whatever reason, not to do that. He decided to go out and bolster the pitching staff, which, I mean, is whatever. I don't think you could ever have enough pitching, but he keeps not going and getting the bat that we need. And I just don't understand that. I mean, go out and get the right-handed bat that we need. Just make the deal, get the right-handed bat that we need. Because like you said, I mean, these windows, these opportunities don't stay open forever. I mean, again, we basically missed out on what ended up being just a handful of runs. I mean, just a little bit more run production would possibly put us into the World Series. So, I mean, yeah, like again, I'm trying to avoid talking Tigers all every week because the season is so long and. But I'm glad that they locked the kid up and got him, situated because he clearly belongs on the big squad. I mean, that was that was one of the prospects that, he came to fruition early, and that's what you want with a prospect, like if he can play, bring him on up, put him in the lineup. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. To answer your question, nephew, I have no idea. I don't know what the hell Scott Harris is thinking. I don't know what his train of thought is. I'm not sure. I mean, like this is probably our last year with man, I'm drawing a blank. The pitcher. This is probably our last year with our ace.
Scoob.
Yeah, with Scooble. I mean, like we wasting it. I mean, we wasting our opportunity.
Oh, like we did with Max Scherzer? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry.
We just wasting it. I mean, we just wasting this opportunity.
Scott Harris is just not for real, and I'm over it, bro. Stop. Like every time they trot Spencer Torkinson's ass out there in the start in the lineup, like attempting to just fan it flies. I'm cool, man. I'm straight.
What
Parker
else you got?
Meadows, all of it. I'm over it.
Last thing I got for the People's Champ.
Yes, sir.
Mania this weekend.
Yeah.
What you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I'm looking forward to that one. And, I'm definitely looking forward to.
That's the only thing I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to, let's see, that one. I think Cody and Randy are going to work. I think they're they're probably the best two workers on the card for both nights, truthfully. Because CM, his last few matches, he missed a couple of cues. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to those two. And I'm looking forward to, whenever I can watch Jade Cargill, I'm going to sign me up for that twice. So, yeah, her and Rhea Ripley, I'm looking forward to that. And Liv and Stephanie Vacour, I'm looking forward to that one, too. And Javon Evans.
Any expectations on what Speed gonna do?
Oh, God. I don't think he's gonna get speared again, which would be good for him. I don't know. What is he? What match is Speed tied up in?
He's the 6-man with Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, because he's Logan's guy. Well, he was Logan's guy.
Now he's cursed.
Yeah. He'll probably somehow, some way end up screwing Logan over. He'll probably somehow, some way end up screwing Logan over.
The fact that it's 2026 and Logan Paul and Speed
Logan,
are in the WrestleMania
but Logan
match.
Paul has turned himself into a worker. Like some guys get into business and fall in love with it, and he's nice, dude. Like I didn't think he was gonna be shit, but
we have an NFL punter being the main part of the
that's terrible.
WrestleMania.
That's terrible. Like that's whack. Like Paul McAfee trying to do his best Bobby Heenan impersonation.
No, we got little Yachty trying to do his best Bobby Heenan impersonation.
Trick.
And I know
they're supposed to do Trick better than that, man. Why they do Trick like that, man?
Unc right now looking like
it's all over
like
my
a
head.
fish out of water.
This is all over my head, man. I'm letting y'all chop it up, man, about wrestling. I don't know nothing about it, man. I'm removed.
Little.
I ain't watched wrestling since my boys was little, man.
Little Yachty said, man, don't nobody pay more money for live shows than him, even Conway. So I don't know.
I'm looking for one thing and one thing only.
What's
and
that?
it's gonna be that first match on Sunday on ESPN, which
Oba,
I think
Oba and Brock.
which I think is a good business move.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just strictly business, because there's only one result that match should have. and it's the what's the word I'm looking for? The retribution for all of the years of African Americans in the rest of the business getting destroyed by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, hey, listen. That's gonna sell some tickets, man. I hope that all of the high impact moves, they nail them all and they get the pop. And if they can squeeze maybe a 4-star out of this boy, Obafemi will be in the stratosphere. I think this could really set him up to be the guy.
And on that note, we appreciate y'all joining us this week, man. On the Everybody Has One podcast, man. We'll be right back here next week at 8:30 p.m. Next Wednesday. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One, spelled out everywhere. Everybody Everybody Has One Sports Podcast spelled out everywhere else. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Twitch, and that's Threads. The audio version of the podcast is also available on Spotify and on Apple Podcast, man. So make sure y'all tapping in with us there. When you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell notification. And when you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all. When you hit all, you will be notified every time that we post new content, new shorts, new videos, and of course, every time we go live. And again, that is right here every Wednesday at 8:30 or as close as we can get to it. Make sure you're telling your friends, make sure you're telling your family. And when we post that content, make sure you share it on your personal social media pages, man. We appreciate y'all so very, very much each week, man. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family. Make sure y'all continue to tap in with us, man, each week. And when you watch those videos, make sure you watch them in their entirety. Also, if there are topics that you would like to hear, make sure you hit us in those direct messengers on one of those social sites, and we'll try to get those on for you. Again, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man, and we will see y'all back here next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not be late, even though we might be. It's the Everybody Has One podcast. Peace.
Oh, Nev, Dom and Finn Balor may be the best match.